Morning, everyone. Really, today's session is as much about information dissemination for everybody that's currently using Maximizer, just to ensure that you're making the best value of the product as possible and that you're fully aware of all the different elements and services that Maximizer can offer. Okay, so we're not going to do any feature functionality things. Really focusing on kind of top level. Here's other areas of Maximizer that it can offer. Brilliant. Okay, so this was the agenda we sent out. New features, new and additional Maximizer features and enhancements. So we'll just cover off that very briefly. And then we're going to look at 5 main areas around additional functionality. These tend to be areas that we are asked most frequently about and can Maximizer do. Okay, accounts integration, web form or website integration, quotations, pricing modules, SMS. Some of you will have received an automated SMS from me about 11:30, and I just set that up through Maximizer. And then just make you aware of the App Store and what else is available there. And then finally, we'll cover off with Jeff here. Jeff can give us a wee wave. Jeff's we've been working strategically with Jeff now for about 5 years on a number of bespoke development areas and other integrations that clients have came to us regarding. So Jeff will speak to you for a few minutes towards the end of the presentation around what type of integrations are available, what he can do. So first thing really is to make you aware that Maximizer are now releasing monthly updates on the CRM Live environment. So a lot of the updates will happen and you don't really realize they're happening. There may be new options added to a drop-down menu, or it may be something in the background around security, or it may be a matter that there is enhanced functionality moving forward so that the next time you come to us asking for can Maximizer do, the functionality exists. So mostly every month you'll have this wee pop-up window in Maximizer asking you to click on the slides and learn about all the new features. So really that's a positive reinforcement to say, look, there's a lot of investment going into the platform at the moment, and it's really, really good from a feature functionality perspective moving forward. There's also a new edition of Maximizer called the Sales Leader Edition. And this is probably an advanced type product, and it offers a number of additions in terms of functionality, specifically around selling and sales. So I'm just going to click out of this at the moment. The 3 main areas that it offers is enhanced reporting around dashboards and more business intelligent functionality. It also offers a Kanban view for opportunity management, where you can click and drag and drop different elements of functionality. It gives you warnings in terms of elements whereby they, if there's no outstanding tasks or if the tasks are overdue. And also then it gives you a quotas module or a targets module, which allows you to see in terms of monitor performance against specific sales criteria. So that's the Sales Leader Edition, and there's other smaller elements, but those are the 3 main elements for enhanced functionality that exist. The next key area that we are asked about is the accounts integration. Can Maximizer integrate with our account system? Typically, the answer is yes. We have out-of-the-box integration with a number of accounts applications. Sage 50 and Sage 200, Xero, QuickBooks tend to be the most frequently asked for integrations. We have a number of others, ABM, which is a product primarily in the Republic of Ireland, Spires, which is another less used accounts application, and then there are lots of others. So if you want to integrate your accounts with Maximizer, that's possible. Just give us a wee shout and let's see what we can do for you. How does that look? So typically we can synchronize full contact information so that all the contact information in the accounts application is synchronized with Maximizer, or vice versa, synchronize all the relevant records in Maximizer with your account system. We can also then bring forward, for example, accounting transactions within your key fields or follow-on tabs here. So this is a key field example. And the next slide, what we have here is just a new tab. And that tab opens basically a window into Sage in this case, and it brings us a full list of all the outstanding transactions that have been created against this client. What we can also then do is lift that financial information and publish it in our dashboards. So you can actually create dashboards in Maximizer to report on the financial information that exists within, for example, your account system, in this case, in this case, Sage. All right. So just really make you aware of that information is available from Maximizer to accounts and vice versa. So the next area I wanted to basically bring you up to speed is in what we call web forms or website integration, really. So I have a number of examples here. So I'm just going to again log out of the PowerPoint. And I go in here. And we have a number of web forms. So this is a web form that exists on our website, ProAptivity website. And I have contact fields on the web form. And as soon as these contact fields are completed and submitted, automatically posted into CRM, and I will receive an automated email to say we have a new inquiry in Maximizer. All right, so that's just one example on our website of just a general contact page. So a different view or a different customization, exact same functionality. We have, for example, here is a new membership registration form with the Scottish Association of Young Farmers. So they have in the region of 3,000 members that are young farmers in Scotland. And as and when you become a young farmer, they used to have to rely on paper forms to be submitted and posted back to the head office in Edinburgh. Now, any young new member will just simply log on to the new membership registration page, and they can update the information directly into the system. It pre-populates their membership records, notifies the admin in the office that a new record has been created, and removes that manual entry. So that's another fairly easy, straightforward one. The third one I'm going to show you here is another client, University of Cambridge. And this is a much more detailed, longer form. But again, all this information has been created and lifted out of Maximizer. What this does is it allows users or people that are self-serving, putting the information onto the website themselves, to upload the information, and the system will then verify that Niall McCaffrey's records are correct, and it will update information specifically against Niall McCaffrey's record in Maximizer. And here in this case, it also is allowing us to upload specific documents. In this case, it might be proof of ID or birth certificates or application forms. It doesn't really matter. As soon as I choose that form and upload that document is automatically uploaded into the Maximizer record for that individual. All right. So the University of Cambridge have about 15,000 records that they need to do update every year. Each record has taken them about 40 minutes to do, and we've been able to remove all that duplication and manual entry purely by the web self-service form. So some elements are totally out of the box with Maximizer. Other elements we need to do a little bit of programming on, but either way, that functionality is available. Okay. Moving forward, we have an additional module by one of the Maximizer partners called OCAT, which stands for Online Catalogs. Quite a strange name, but that's what it stands for. And what it does is it allows you to do integrated quotations within Maximizer, update the opportunity record, and post that or create that quotation then against the template and send that quotation directly out to the customer. All right. It'll do other things in terms of order processing, inventory management. It can also integrate with e-commerce websites. But what we use it for is primarily quoting. So just very briefly, I have an opportunity created here for ABC Wines. I have a follow-on window, which here says quotes and orders. And below that, I have a quote that I have created for this opportunity. So this allows me to build in basically a catalog of products that I want to lift. I can lift certain product items. I can build a quote. I can either send that quote out by a link, a web link, or by PDF. And when the customer comes back and accepts that, I then can create that into a sales order. I could, for example, invoice directly from within the OCAT module and then post that transaction directly into my accounts application, which we use here is Xero. So really, really good module. It brings all your quotes centrally managed internally within Maximizer. I have a wee typo here. There is a directory, app directory within Maximizer. Very small screenshot here, but really what I was trying to do is show you the number and variety of applications that now exist for plug and play integration with Maximizer. So some of the key ones that we want to mention would include, for example, with email, there is email integrations out of the box with MailChimp and Constant Contact. For surveys, there are integration with SurveyMonkey and Survey Mechanics. There is an integration with Eventbrite, DocuSign, integration with Zoom and Google Meet, if you're using those. In terms of socials, there is integration with the likes of Facebook ad campaigns and Instagram. There are other messaging platforms with the likes of Teams and another messaging platform called Slack. And also full integration now with the G Suite product, so Gmail and the various documents that are within the G Suite stack. And lots of others as well. So there is this product called Zapier. And for those less technical, it allows Maximizer to integrate with Zapier and then other platforms integrate with Zapier. So it's a kind of a middleware product is the term. So it allows you to relay activities within to Zapier. Zapier relays them to other products, and it vastly reduces the costs of doing any sort of development or integrations. So finally, from me, we also have developed a new SMS module for Maximizer. Okay, so this was as a result of increasing requests from lots of clients in terms of being able to just messaging. So I'm going to show you very briefly the SMS message. Those of you that have email addresses, you should have all received a wee automated email or SMS message, text message from me there approximately 11:30 this morning. That was sent through Maximizer. All right, so I can send point-to-point, single individual messages. I can send large groups out. It's pretty much right-click send message. There is also a integration with the Maximizer calendar, so to allow you to do automated reminders for schedule appointments. So at the moment, we have that set for every 12 hours or 24 hours prior to that appointment. The recipient will receive an automated reminder to say, Niall, you've got an appointment tomorrow at 12 o'clock. You can create templates for those appointment reminders. And also, if you reply to the message, it will automatically log that message in Maximizer and alert the user that there is a reply awaiting for them. Okay, so I'm just going to briefly go there. So here, my goodness, the worst possible thing, log out. I'm going to do, well, and I need my password. So logs me in. So I'm just going to do a search and say today. So I now have 4 people selected. So I can just very quickly select everybody and send a message to everybody. So here it will pick up the people and the numbers that I'm sending that message to. And I can, this is free text area of SMS. So as soon as I hit send, the system will automatically send those messages. It will also then record that those messages have been sent here in the history tab within the SMS. And these pop-ups here are actually pop-ups to say that I have received a reply back from this message. So I can click on any of those. It'll open the record and it'll say the message back in, and that came from Arlene earlier on. What we can also then do, if I just go very briefly, I can create a template reply. So if anybody does reply to this SMS, they'll get a templated reply message. And also then what we have is an appointment reminder. So it will send an SMS message in the 24-hour clock, 48 hours before the appointment. And I have a message template. And in here, I can pick up any of the user-defined fields that are visible within Maximizer. So, are we all doing okay with that so far? Super. Yeah. Look, next I'm going to hand you over now to Jeff, and Jeff is going to talk us through the work he does around the development of bespoke apps. He'll be able to educate us much better than me. Jeff.
Hi guys, nice to meet you all. I've just got a couple of slides here, so I'll run through it quickly. I'm not one for quotes, but there's a well-known quote that says, data is like garbage, you better know what you're going to do with it before you collect it. And that was Mark Twain, and it's so true in modern life and modern business. So much of business now revolves around collecting and using data. And Maximizer goes a long way to producing customer information and helping that whole customer journey. But there's this tremendous misconception that doing anything beyond basic data manipulation well, I'll give you some of the misconceptions in a minute, but there's quite a few of them, and it's a real shame. I also wouldn't be one to brag or shout about the sort of companies I've worked with in the past, but I'm sort of doing it for very good reason. So you'll see some of the brands up there that I've worked with, well-known brands and more localized brands. And the reason I put it up there is that I've worked, or had worked for many years, for organizations that spent an absolute fortune on creating tools to help their businesses run better, more efficiently, create more opportunity. And the amounts of money involved were frankly eye-watering. And it got me to thinking many years ago that that really does preclude smaller companies, SMEs, from taking advantage of the tools that these big guys appear to have. So for many years, I've been on a mission to open the doors and demystify this whole process of using some of the modern tools and technology to help small businesses. And I think we've done a reasonably good job of doing so, especially having hooked up and done a lot of work now with some of the Maximizer customers, one of whom I believe, Nuala, is on the call today, so I'd better be a little careful what I say. So I think for most businesses, the main drive is to either solve a problem, to create an opportunity, or to improve efficiency within the business. And as Niall's just shown you, these are the typical misconceptions that I'm sure if you've thought about how you make things better, you may have asked yourself some of these questions. Firstly, it's one of cost. Most SMEs are being squeezed in terms of the money they have available to do these proactive things. And there's this huge misconception that it is a really expensive task to go beyond the normal run-of-the-mill way of doing things. That's simply not the case. Some people say, well, I don't think we really have a problem. And it's amazing how when we explain what some of these modern tools can do, that suddenly it highlights issues that people hadn't really focused on, but now it becomes the center of their attention. Technical expertise, a lot of SMEs, for obvious reasons, are very good at running their own businesses, but for budgetary and other resource reasons, they just don't have the technical expertise, and they're concerned that it's going to create problems for them internally. A lot of people will say to us, well, surely there's a tool out there that can do what we want to do. It's true to an extent. The problem is that every business has its own trials and tribulations, its own hurdles to overcome, and opportunities it wants to take advantage of. So being able to focus in on a particular business's needs is so very important these days. We would do a lot of work in two areas. The general term is apps, and you would most notably know them as mobile apps, but also there's the sort of apps that Maximizer has, which are web apps. So we work with both types of apps, both those that you're typically used to running on your mobile device, and they could be apps that only a mobile device has the ability to handle. So you may need to be taking photographs. You may need to be noting the location of one of your sales reps. This is something that only a mobile app can achieve. But there's the other side, which is web apps as well. And the other thing is, why am I going to go and spend money on a new technology or a new tool I've heard of? Because am I going to really get any return on investment? How do I measure whether it's going to be successful or not? And the beauty of mobile or web applications is they're very easy to monitor in terms of their impact upon a small business like you yourselves might be running. Thanks, Niall. That's great. So a few examples, and may I say that we're a small organization. We're not like the big guys, but we have done what I feel are some transformational work with certain organizations. Of course, the lead logo there is the PSNI here. So there is a well-known problem that exists in policing. It's somewhat of a political one, but it involves racial discrimination. The biggest problem with racial discrimination is that most of the people who are the victims of it are not naturally English speaking. So we are developing a mobile application at the moment that enables someone who is a foreign speaker not only to submit an incident report to the police in their own language, but the call handler at the other end will automatically receive the incident report from that person in English. So we are automatically translating the results so that the call handler can handle the call far more efficiently because they're aware of the issue, but also can hand it over to a translator extremely quickly. So as you can appreciate, that's a game changer for the PSNI in their ability to manage these awful crimes that take place. We've also carried out work with a company to allow them to not only create but manage and maintain trails that you'll find at locations like Stormont and around the UK at various parks and venues. We've worked with the Armagh Observatory and Planetarium. Again, we've created a tool that was not expensive, but which has completely transformed the journey that both adults and children have when they visit the planetarium and they take the journey outside. And finally, and closer to home, young farmers use Maximizer to manage all of their member information. So we thought it might be useful if we were to utilize that information for membership and discounts. So we've created a mobile application that takes the information from Maximizer and enables people on their own phones to confirm that they are a genuine Young Farmers member, and they can also then use it at local retailers to avail of certain discounts. So that's taking that data and almost reinventing it and using it for uses that the younger people in Young Farmers were really interested in getting involved with. So there's just a couple of examples of how we're using data at the moment with what on the surface appears to be expensive technology, not for the small company. And in fact, we're hopefully proving them wrong. Thanks, Niall. So I think we have Nuala on the call today, and she's one of the ladies at Shower Save, and this was just really a little more detailed view of a particular customer. They will be the first to admit they're an SME, but they import and sell a product and have unique rights to sell this product in the UK. And they came to us asking how we could cost effectively do a number of things. Number one, take advantage of the potential opportunity. Number two, improve efficiency within their business. And three, just make the whole process an awful lot easier for the organization. So we created a mobile app, and Niall, if you just very quickly move on to the final slide there.
Oh, sorry, I don't have, that's my last slide. Oh, okay. Can you see that one?
No problems. I have another slide here. Just bear with me one moment. Okay, so very quickly, this is a particular customer journey, but every business has their own customer journey, and it's really just to highlight how this simple tool, I'm hoping Nuala will attest to the fact that it really has changed the way they run this part of the business. So what we've done is we provided a facility for trade customers to order this particular range of products, and we are managing the inventory, making sure that when it becomes low, that they can of course replenish their stock so that they're not going to annoy or disappoint any of their customers. It sends customer and order information straight into the Sage accounting system, so that they don't have to rekey the information and keep their internal accounting up to date. That's done automatically, which in itself is a considerable saving in terms of time. The internal staff then use the app itself to scan the products as they come in from the Netherlands, which is where they're imported from. They had previously used handheld scanners, which of course serve one purpose only, and that's to scan a barcode and provide certain information. But they wanted to do a lot more with it. So the app has been used to replace the handheld scanner. So the app has a scanner inside it, which allows the warehouse people to scan an individual item. And more importantly, one of the main issues they had was that they would receive maybe a pallet of 50 of these particular products. So the laborious task of scanning individual products lay with the warehouse guys, who obviously took considerable time to scan them individually, especially when they're palletized, because you can't always see the scanning codes. And furthermore, they were making errors. So what the app also does is allows you to enter the first serial number for a batch of maybe 50 products, and then to define how many products there are in total on that pallet. And it will automatically create the sequential serial numbers for all 50 of those products. And that's done in literally 2 or 3 seconds, as opposed to the process of laboriously scanning individual ones. The clever part really comes now in that we've allowed the installers of these devices around the UK to also have their version of the app, because it's there's a strong wish by lots of organisations to ensure there's a degree of traceability for these devices. And these devices, as you can see from the title, they provide a wastewater heat recovery system. So it's all to do with ensuring that when houses are built, they reach a certain level in terms of ecological impact. So everybody, including the builders and other organisations, are eager to see just how these devices are being used. So the installer can now scan the box when he installs it. The app automatically identifies exactly where he's located. He enters a few details regarding the address and the builder with whom he's working. That information is then sent off to ShowerSave's server. And the clever thing now is that we're able to compare not only the units that have been sent out by ShowerSave, but also subsequently which ones have actually been installed by installers. So they've got total traceability of where these devices have been installed around the countryside and by whom. And the final stage is that reports are generated and sent off to not only the builders, so that they know the devices they've purchased have been installed and by whom, but also numerous internal reports for ShowerSave for them to run their own internal reports on how many they've sold and where these devices are going. I don't know if I'm allowed to say, but Persimmon Homes would be one of their biggest customers, who I believe now are the second largest building company in the UK. And this just goes to demonstrate that this was not an expensive task. All it required was for the organisation to take the customer journey that they currently have, identify that they had issues, and they decided to dip their foot in the water of using technology to solve these problems. And the time and cost saving has been immense, and I hope again Nuala would testify to that. So no, that's really all I've got to say. Again, I think there's an awful lot of opportunity for SMEs to at least look at the opportunities available to them by taking existing data and using it more effectively, or creating tools that allow data to flow between various parts of their organisation. Thanks very much. I hope Great. I didn't talk for too long there.
Not at all, Jeff. Look, that's all we wanted to cover. So now what I'm going to do is open the floor for questions, either in the chat, or if you want to give us a wee shout out yourselves, that's also okay. Or feel free, if you wish, to email me or Heather offline if you have other questions. Is there anything any burning questions anybody within the audience would like to ask? Chrissy, yes, go ahead.
Hiya, thanks for that. Just a quick question in regards to the web forms. Is it possible to have a web form that, for example, our external partners can submit customer support entries via, or is that only something that you can do on the Maximizer platform itself?
Well, we need to take that offline. There's no reason we couldn't get that working for you in terms of creating a portal for them to log case directly. Yeah.
Great.
Nuala?
Just really a quick compliment for yourself and Jeff. I'm not sure who the rest of the people on the call are, but we've had the pleasure as a small company of working with Jeff and Niall, and I have to say that both Maximizer and the app that we have developed over time it's really pretty much the backbone actually of our business. And we're a small business, Ballyclare, but we work with the top 10 house builders in the UK. So yeah, great work from Niall and Jeff. Thank you both. It's always a pleasure. Always a pleasure working with you both. Always very responsive, efficient, and it's very much appreciated.
You're very kind.
Bob, thank you very much. Meepo.
Oh, hi there. Thank you for that presentation. It was really informative. I had a quick question about the web form integration. I noticed you had an icon for Power BI, which we've recently started using. I just wondered, could you provide a bit more information about that?
So there is would require a little bit of professional services to get that set up for you, but yes, the Power BI will integrate with Maximizer, so you can do bespoke reporting within Power BI based on any of the information that exists within Maximizer. So in addition to that, what we may need to chat about is just the benefits of the Sales Leader Edition, because it will also provide you with enhanced reporting within Maximizer over and above the standard dashboards.
Okay, I was thinking when I saw that, it'd be good to kind of take opportunities from Maximizer and have that integrated with Power BI. Is that one of the things I'd be able to do?
Let me chat about that offline in terms of just the detail of how we will do that.
Okay,
But yeah,
that's great.
okay,
Thank you.
super. Hayley, you're on mute.
Yep.
Yep.
Sorry. Firstly, thanks for doing this. As a small organisation that lacks technical expertise, taking things like we with our CRM, we're taking little bits every now and again and learning something new. And we're very much taking a gradual approach to adding on new things. So firstly, thanks for this and for also being very patient with us. I just have a small question about the SMS module. Is that like a free, does that send out those messages free of charge, or is there a charge to that?
There is a charge. You just have to buy bundles on the what's called the Twilio platform. So you just pre-buy bundles.
Okay.
There's a few technicalities in terms of there's mostly a charge for the actual number itself, and I think you can also do it with like a 3-digit number or 5-digit number, but then there's no reply to the 5-digit number or name description. So yeah, so it's just there is a charge per transaction.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Super. Anything else? No. Folks, if there's nothing else, thank you very much all for taking your time out and for attending today. My aim was really to help you become better educated about all the other features and functionality that Maximizer CRM offer, and us as a business, the other business problems that we can maybe resolve that you may have. So if you have any data requirements, any questions at all, feel free to come back to myself or to Heather, depending on who's your primary your contact, and we'll certainly pick those queries up and come back to you. But thank you very much. If there's nothing else, we'll let you all go. And thanks for joining me.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thanks very much.
Thanks
Thank
now.
you. Thanks.